That's not on, is it? Or is it?
I'll turn it on.
Can you hear me? Because I don't really need it.
Yes, you do.
I've been schooled in all kinds of demonstrations, so the voice gets loud and disappears a lot. May Day. Bienvenidos a todos. Welcome all. Even though our numbers are small, we represent an idea that is huge. An idea that has shaken the world from side to side and pole to pole. And that is working people united. And that's what we're looking at today. I want to talk a little bit about our history, but not too much. I also want to say that today, May the 1st, is a working class day. This is the workers' holiday, as was already mentioned, and was well mentioned. A day to remember and to honor our colleagues and comrades who stood shoulder to shoulder with us in solidarity and with each other and with us and fell in the cause. Whether they died on the line, whether they died on the job, or whether they died of having their bodies wasted from such hard work. I want to have each one of you try and give us a name of a fallen comrade. I'm going to start with Wayne Hawley. So, go ahead.
AFT's former executive director, Paul Henderson.
Someone else? How about Joe Hill? Hey. How about Big Bill Haywood? More?
Eugene V. Debs.
Hey.
Mother Jones.
Mother Jones. Hey.
The rebel girl, Elizabeth Gurley Flynn.
Hey, the rebel girl, yes. Bruce
Utah Phillips.
Right.
Yeah.
We can go on like this all day because we each of us have stood shoulder to shoulder with someone that stood with us on the picket line, someone who helped us, someone who stood out there in front, someone who took the barbs, someone who was spat upon, someone who fought back and didn't give up. Each one of us have known these people and we're better for it. And each one of you soon will join those ranks. And it's wonderful. Okay, today we also honored the Mexican heroes of La Batalla de 5 de Mayo, the 5th of May. Here, a ragtag army of supposedly not brave, too low to fight, suddenly stood up to the mighty colossus of Europe of that day, Imperial France. And they defeated them. They kicked their butt. Unfortunately, they came back with more reinforcements and took over. But with Benito Juarez, they were forced out, and finally they shot at the firing squad Maximilian. And his wife Archlutta went with a buggy. So, the battle goes on. Now that was a wonderful battle that took place with uneven forces, and yet the uneven people, the underdog, won. Why? Because they didn't give up, because they had hope, because they had loyalty, and because they had stick-to-itiveness. And that's what our union members represent today. Why? Because today, for the last 25 to 30 years, our federal government has worked diligently to destroy our unions. People in state governments have done it. We live in a right-to-work state. Anybody that's in the union today is already brave because we do live in a right-to-work state. You've got the guts, and you have to keep them. Now, we as workers have spent many resources and many years and made many sacrifices to get what we struggled for. Negotiations, wage increases, safety on the job, the 8-hour day. My God, what a day. The ridding the nation of child labor and so on and so forth. We have won battles. But now, it will take time, resources, and more sacrifice to keep from losing them to the voracious, insatiable colossi, the bosses, as Joe Hill said, the bosses. Now, but the workforce is still the workforce, no matter how you name it. A wage is still a wage, and living costs are still the same, only higher. Electronic programmers are still workers, selling their brain and muscle power for a wage, just like the rest of us do. They need to be organized. Now, we do live in a society where everything we produce is produced socially, you know that. People produce everything. Now, produced by people and machines driven by people. However, the profit is taken privately by individuals and corporations. That is, as Joe Hill put it, the bosses. As long as that dichotomy remains in our society, there will be struggle. You know that, and I know that. Women are working for 85 cents on the dollar to what men are working on. Is that fair? Hardly. We found out today that some Mexican workers are working in hotels and so on for $3 an hour. My God, that's the dark ages. So these atrocities against working people are taking place every day. Now, so what's the answer? Of course, the answer is liberty. Yeah? So how? Well, we've won political liberty. We've won the right to political liberty to vote and to have our voices heard and civil rights protected by our Constitution. But at one and the same time, there is an equal and a concomitant liberty that we need to win. That's the economic liberty. We are not yet working on an even field where our work, our production does not merit the kind of pay that we should have. No one should be working for $3 an hour. No one should be working for 8 or 9. You can't live on that. You can't pay rent. You can't even buy that damn gas that guy's using up there.
Blackwater.
So, this economic liberty would give us the right to a good living standard, a job with all the benefits, equal pay, education, health care, and the right to a periodic R&R. You can't work 12 months a year, 7 days a week without some R&R. That has to be built into anything that we do. Okay, I think I'm going on long.
Well, Archie, where are the bosses going to get their bonuses if we take a day off?
Yeah, they won't. And hopefully the government is working to cut those down, but they'll cut $2 off or something.
There you go.
So what's the answer? The answer is the good word. What the hell's the good word? The good word is organize. Come on, hear it.
Organize!
What?
Organize!
That's the good word. That's what we have to do. We have to organize. Look, it's time to organize the unorganized. We have too many people unorganized. You know and I know that the pressure against unions has been such that they have debilitated us and they have lessened the numbers. So we have to organize those that are unorganized. Now that's been a password of unions for years, but now we have to act on it. And also, all unorganized shops, the fastest growing part of the labor force are Latinos in the service areas, in construction and in farm working. The electronics field is burgeoning, but it's filled with part-timers and unemployed. That's unorganized people. They can be organized, not necessarily in a union in a job, but organized to defend themselves to get jobs. It's a powerful message. It's a powerful idea And we yet have to try to instigate